Hello, welcome to the Getting Started Guide, the first step in getting what you really want. My name is Kalinda Triffo. I am the author of Pivot from BS, the 90-day workbook, Create Your Ideal Life. And today I recommend you grab a pen and paper because I'm going to give you some valuable information in order to be able to help you really achieve what you want. So, everything does begin with an idea. In my coaching program, where I do the 90-day challenge, the one thing that we focus on at the very beginning is decide. Now, why is that? Well, most people that I work with in the beginning, they're 100% overwhelmed. They are 100% weighed down with responsibility. And no matter what they try to accomplish, distraction is a thing. You try to get one thing done and everybody's at you at the same time and you can't get what you want to get done. And when that gets overwhelming, there's a tendency to lack motivation. You feel like you are living just to complete your task lists, and it feels like there's something more. It's just what? And really being able to take that time to decide what it is that you want is key in order to get started, right? And so this is what we are focusing on today. We are focusing on decide. That's how we get started. And so right now, if you think about it, what are you really focused on? Most people I talk to, they're focused on their career, finances are what tie up their thoughts. Health is a priority because usually pain is involved. Home life is important. Relationships, well-being, legacy. Is there anything I missed in there? And if you take all of those things and put them to the side for a moment and dig deep into what you are really trying to solve, most times I find that clients are looking to actually relieve pain, relieve stress, eliminate exhaustion, increase their vitality, increase motivation, just get more energy, or be happy. That is something that needs to be a priority. We should all be happy every day, right? Okay, so what is the actual challenge? Well, the challenge is you get more of what you focus on. And in many times, if you are overwhelmed and weighed down, exhaustion seems to be the only thing you can think about, or the negative thoughts. We've all had them, right? Like something's going on, you don't like it, then you focus on what it is that's happening. It's the negative emotions that tie us into that cycle, and we get stuck there rather than focusing on the solution. Heartache is a pretty hard thing to not focus on when you're in the middle of it. It's really being gentle with yourself and trying to figure out what it is that would make your heart happy. Stress is at an all-time high, and when that shows up, figuring out ways to breathe and calm down are key, because the more you focus on stress, the quicker it grows. Anxiety is a thing, and it's gaining momentum, especially in today's society. And I truly believe it's because it's from focusing in the future, and we always have to keep one step ahead in today's society. And I really think that when you focus on anxiety, that creativity that is taking the thoughts into places that you really don't want it to go, it doesn't help. The focus just makes it stronger. And then, of course, when angst and pain show up, how do you focus on anything else, right? When you got pain, it's pretty powerful. And I always say pain is the most powerful teacher because it demands your focus. But none of these things actually really help you get what you want. So you have to decide what you actually want to be focusing on. What is that? Have you sat down and thought about that? Have you thought about what it is that you really want? And if you have, what do you think's been stopping you? Most people know what the challenge is, but the big question is, how do you fix it? Well, the very first thing that you really need to do is when you do make a decision, you need to be specific on what it is that you want. It's not good enough to say, I want a new car. What kind of new car do you want? I mean, do you want a $500 beater from 1970? Or do you want a 2020 Lexus, right? If you're vague, you're going to get vague results. So it's very important to be specific. Make sure that you have the numbers, right? When I work with people through the 90-day challenge, we work in the Pivot from BS book. And in that book, it's a 405-page workbook that really keeps you on track, and it forces you to be specific, step by step. And the reason I do that is because it keeps you accountable to you. It's not easy staying on track, and having accountability is key, and that's what I designed Pivot from BS for. And BS doesn't actually stand for what you're thinking. It's Pivot from BS is actually belief systems, which is the cause of what you're thinking, right? And when you're when you're deciding, it's important to treat life like a restaurant, not a buffet. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you go to a restaurant and you sit down, you get a menu, and then you have to choose what it is that you want before it can be prepared and brought to the table, correct? If you tell the waitress or waiter, bring me food, they're going to look at you like you're from Mars. So it is important to tell them precisely what you want, and they'll bring it. Now, when you go to a buffet, there's a million options to choose from. In life, there's a million options to choose from. But you still have to go up, and you still have to choose what it is that you're putting on the plate, right? You can't just go and decide you're going to have everything. It's not going to fit into your stomach. So you have to choose what it is that you're going to enjoy that day, and you have to know what you can make the best of, right? So if you treat life like a buffet, I mean, you can only do so many things at one time. It's important to focus, is what I'm saying. You focus on what it is that you really want, and you leave the rest. Okay, so when making decisions about your career, it is critical that you include the numbers, the dates that you want to have something accomplished, and of course, you really need to focus. That is key. The other thing is you need to be realistic. You have to believe it. Otherwise, you're going to sabotage yourself. So it is imperative that you believe it's possible first. Now, it is your job to know what you want. The how is going to take care of itself. And what do I mean by that? You know, if you don't know what you want, there's no way to put in your order of life, right? But once you do put in that order, it doesn't mean that you have to know every step on how to get there. There will be an idea, an opportunity, a person, something will happen that will lead you in the direction that you need to go. But you have to know what you want in order to unlock those opportunities. So how do you want to feel when you reach your destination? Who do you want to be with? You need to know who you want in your life, and you need to know how you want to feel in the life that you're requesting. There's going to be a few roadblocks around the way. And many times the biggest roadblock is that people refuse to invest in themselves because they're pinching pennies and then losing dollars and decades. And the reason that happens, I truly believe, is because of fear. I mean, your fear that if you spend something that it's going to be gone. Well, if you spend, it is gone. But if you invest, it has a way of coming back. So investing in yourself to gain the knowledge and increase your skills and confidence is key in getting you to where you really want to go. So you really need to decide, who do you have to be in order to be able to reach your goal? What do you really want? Where do you want to be? When do you want to accomplish a buy? And get really honest with yourself. What is your why? You have to decide. That is the foundation to create your ideal life. Now, the next step is, what is the plan? We'll cover that in the next video. But if Pivot from BS is something that you think is going to help you, the 405-page workbook, it is available on Amazon, and it will help you stay on track for 90 days as well as make that plan. So thank you so much for attending the Getting Started Guide first video. I hope that this has helped you to decide.